Problem solving consists of being able to identify the problem, brainstorming possible solutions, trying out some of the solutions, and evaluating the outcome to see what is working and what is not. It is also important to work with others and listen to and consider each other's ideas. Here is some advice from alumni about how to organize a problem-solving process.
Usually, when we're facing a challenge, I don't like to call them problems because it's really at the end, it's a challenge that we have to overcome. So because we are a small group and it's a lot easier for us to help each other out and get those challenges, resolved. We are like I said, we have meetings every once a week. We know where everybody is. We know the problems everybody has. We know where help is needed. And if it's something that anybody can help, we'll jump with each other and help at anything that we need. So before we try to solve the issue before it becomes a real problem.
The first thing I would do to organize a problem-solving process is to determine who is being impacted by the problem and which key individuals need to be part of the conversation. Then I would get others on board by asking everyone to provide feedback and input. I think it's important in any work environment to empower others to contribute to the conversation.
Problem solving is such an important tool in the workplace. Defining the problem is always my first step, and asking for input from my coworkers on how the problem affects them helps me categorize the impact of the problem. When we all work together to find a resolution based on each of their perspectives, I believe everyone feels invested in finding a solution.
That was some great advice, but you can't always solve a problem on your own, and it's important to know when to ask for help. Let's see why asking for help is important when you're trying to solve a problem.
Perfect example, we just hired somebody, actually my assistant, and realized that after going through so many resumes, I posted it on Indeed and Monster and stuff, and getting, probably about 200 resumes, I realized I couldn't do it. Me as the boss or the owner can't handle everything. So acknowledging that, I was able to hire somebody from outside the company to help me find somebody to hire, and she took over the interview process, the application process, and at the end we ended up with an amazing new studio assistant. And it was at first, I think the biggest issue is acknowledging there is a problem, and in my case was the problem that I can't do everything. You need the help, and it's okay to ask for help and acknowledge that there are people that can do it, and it's okay for them to do it and not take responsibility for everything all the time.
I believe it's always appropriate to ask for assistance or feedback. I would rather have an employee ask me for help or clarification before a situation arises or becomes an even bigger issue.
I think it's really important to ask for help if a problem is large enough that it's affecting others. Asking for help and sharing the responsibility of finding a solution demonstrates your willingness to work with others and shows that you value other people's perspective.
Now that you've heard their experiences, think about a time when you had to solve a problem. What strategies can you use to help you be a more effective problem solver?